guys, welcome back to Simply Fujica, a place for budding and aspiring entrepreneurs. Guys, I want to welcome you to another week of the channel. If you are new to this channel, welcome. I hope you find something here that will have you coming back for more. Guys, today I want to discuss 5 tips on how you can scale your business. This is a topic that you hear talked about a lot. We hear it on TV, we see it on a lot of our YouTube videos, we see a lot of our business entrepreneurs talking about, I am doing XYZ to scale my business. But what does that actually mean? And how can you apply those concepts? How can you apply those tips to your own business? Because we're all looking to grow, right? So that's what we're talking about on this video. If that's something you're interested in, then stay tuned. The first thing I want to start with, guys, is actually defining what does scaling mean, because we all have this thought in our mind of what scaling is, but I want to make sure I break down the definition for you. So scaling your business is setting yourself up or enabling yourself so that your business has the opportunity to grow. With that in mind, guys, the first tip that I have for you is make sure you're ready for the growth. So I want to use our delivery business as an example. I think it shouldn't be a shock to anyone that the biggest time of the year, the busiest time of the year is the holiday seasons. And so we're thinking, wow, the holiday season, we're going to have more routes, there's going to be more deliveries, this is going to mean more money, right? Well, yeah, it's going to mean more money, but it's also going to end up meaning more expense, because who's going to make those deliveries? So that means you're going to hire more people, you're going to have overtime expenses that you need to pay, you have additional vehicles now, which there's an additional cost for those vehicles, and then what about the insurance to cover those vehicles? So when I say make sure that you are prepared for the growth, make sure that you're prepared on both sides of the spectrum. You want to make sure that, yes, you want that business to come, but can you support it? Can you support that growth? So you want to make sure that whether you address this in your business plan or just your vision for the future, make sure that you have the tools and resources behind you to make sure that you're set up properly for success. The second tip that I have for you guys is to focus on your future. So it's easy to get stuck in the day-to-day. And that's because there's so much that needs to occur every day to keep your business moving forward. However, at some point, you or someone else in the company has to pull yourself out of that day-to-day regimen so that you can see a path forward. It is from your vision that you can start putting together a plan, start putting together an approach on how you're going to take your business to the next step. So what does that look like for you? The best way to approach this is, let's say you want to have an additional, and guys, I'm just coming up with a number here, $50,000 in revenue over the next year. So that would make you a different business than you are today. So you want to put yourself in the seat of that business making $50,000 more a year. What does that look like? So you want to define that objective. You want to define what are the steps that you need to take in order for you to take your business to that next level. So of course that's going to be increased sales. Do you have the product? Or if it's services, do you have the clientele to turn that around? So those are the types of questions that'll kind of get you going. So depending on what the answers to those questions are, you can pick 2 to 3 points to really drill down so that you can start seeing the benefits to your bottom line. The third tip that I have for you guys is to build a solid team around you. Everyone within your organization, whether they're tier 1 employees or they're part of your leadership team, they should all share in your values, they should know your values, and they should really uplift your values and live them each and every day on that job. Anyone who is not in agreement with your values, they should not be on your team. And listen, even though this person can be productive in the short run, this is someone who's going to do damage to you and your business in the long run. So you really want to pinpoint those folks that are really close to the sleeve, those people that are going to really challenge you, who are really going to make you see things from different perspectives. But when you make that final decision, they're on board and ready to move your business forward. The fourth tip that I have for you is a very real one, and that is secure money. As I mentioned in the example that I gave you, is we had to put some money up front in order to see the return that we were expecting. And so where is that money coming from? That's a question you need to ask yourself. And so really just sit down, look at your books, look at your projections, and see, hey, where can that money come from? And again, it may be that you're taking a little bit of money outside of the business, right? From the business. But remember, it's only for those key elements that are needed for your projections in order to grow your business. Of course, you're going to expect to see those returns, but what if those returns are low? What if the projections that you put together didn't come through as you had originally thought? These things are very real and they happen. So you want to make sure whatever decisions that you make, you understand that there's an opposite end of that too, because we're all expecting great things to happen. But we have to be real here and understand, what if those things don't happen? So really do a critical assessment of where you are, do a critical assessment of what's needed to get you to where you want to be. The fifth and final tip that I have for you is focus on your customers. Guys, I cannot say this enough. Your customers are the bread and butter of your business. Without them, you're not in existence. So this is really a time, in times of growth, this is really a time to make sure that you are pleasing your customers. Make sure you're listening to them. Make sure that they know that you appreciate them. This is a good time for surveys. Any other way that you can get feedback and that you're actually receiving it, because remember, sometimes a quiet customer isn't always a happy one. So you want to make sure any methods that you have of communicating or soliciting feedback from your customer, you take advantage of that. And if you see some common threads, both positive and negative, you might want to turn those common threads into best practices. Whatever team members you have servicing those clients that are giving you positive feedback, they can certainly turn that into a train-the-trainer situation to ensure that those tips turn into best practices. Likewise, for those people who are consistently not doing what you need to carry your business forward, this is where you start kind of seeing that damage, and you don't have time for that because you're growing. So you want to make sure, though, you want to assume innocence, because most people don't do things just because they want to hurt your business. So we have to understand that as well. Do they need additional training? Do they understand the task that they have been given to perform? And really, all of that can be figured out from a coaching session. So you really want to determine, does this person have what it takes to get the job done? And can they do it in a spirit of excellence to help move your business forward? Guys, I know that I said that this was going to be 5 tips, but I cannot forget this. So I'm going to add a bonus tip at this point, because I've spent a lot of time talking about the employees. Make sure that you're investing in your employees. That should go without saying. So if they're doing a great job, there should be some type of recognition. This is a principle that I read in a book from Jim Collins, From Good to Great, Why Some Companies Make the Leap and Others Don't. Guys, this is a great book. So when you can count on someone to do their job, they're doing exactly what you need them to do, which is good. And that deserves recognition, because you want to definitely have them keep continuing to do a good job, but we want to coach them to really try to go above and beyond. But for those team members that do go above and beyond, which reflects great on you as a business and your projections for growth, there should be some type of incentive plan in place, something to really incentivize that person to keep doing an excellent job for you. Because they're not doing a good job, they're doing a fantastic and outstanding job. And for that, those things need to be recognized. So I really wanted to make sure, because it truly is important. As an owner, you set the tone for the business. And so you really want to make sure those people that are producing well for you are incentivized in some type of way. Okay guys, that's all I have for this video. Hopefully this was a value add for you. If you have any additional comments or any additional tips, don't be afraid to put them in the comment section. Let's get that conversation started. Guys, that's all I have for you. If you haven't already, make sure that you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And most of all, do not forget to hit that bell notification so that you're notified anytime I drop a new video. Okay guys, that's all I have for you. Stay blessed.